All right, so after 4 crazy, intense seasons, the Jack Ryan story is finally coming to a close. But hold on, this isn't just another season, not even close. We're here to break down his grand finale, which is an explosive feature film that's set up to be his ultimate final test.
You know, this line right here, pulled from some of the early reactions, it just says it all, doesn't it? The Jack Ryan we met at the very beginning, you know, the brilliant analyst yanked from behind a desk, that guy's long gone. He's been forged in the fire of conflict, and now he's a full-on seasoned field operative. And this final mission, it's gonna push that transformation to the absolute brink.
And just so we're all on the same page, let's be super clear about what this is. This is not season 5, no way. This is the final chord, a full-length cinematic movie meant to cap off the entire saga. The story's still going, but it's moving to a much, much bigger screen. Okay, so let's dive in and start with the big picture. What is this final chapter, really? And maybe more importantly, when do we get to see it? So genre-wise, we're looking at a political spy thriller with Andrew Bernstein in the director's chair. And get this, you can go ahead and mark your calendars for May 20th, 2026. That's when it's dropping straight onto Amazon Prime Video. It's really the definitive end of an era for this character. All right, so what's the main conflict here? It's that classic line, just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in. A new threat pops up that's just too big, too personal, and way too dangerous for him to just walk away. He's back in the game, whether he likes it or not. Yeah, I know, it's a classic spy trope, right? But with these stories, execution is everything. So you have to ask, what could possibly be so bad, so catastrophic, that it pulls the one guy who wants nothing more than to be out back in? Well, the answer seems to be this massive chain reaction of failure and, you guessed it, conspiracy. It's like a domino effect, really. It kicks off with a secret op that just goes completely sideways. That failure then reveals this ghost-like enemy, someone who seems to be 10 steps ahead, knowing every move they're going to make. And that leads them to uncovering a secret Black Ops organization. So, yeah, this isn't just one mission. This is about pulling the thread on a conspiracy that's been buried for years.
And listen, make no mistake, the stakes are higher than they have ever been. Everything we're seeing points to this mission being deeply, deeply personal for Ryan. It's more dangerous than anything he's ever done, and there's this constant, almost suffocating feeling that the clock is just ticking, ticking, ticking down to zero. Of course, Ryan's not going in alone. You didn't think he would, did you? The final chapter is bringing back the core team, but it's also throwing a brand new, totally unpredictable player into the mix.
First up, of course, John Krasinski is back. He's the anchor of this franchise, the guy who's really defined Jack Ryan for a whole new generation. He's coming back one last time to give the character the big send-off he deserves. And you can't have Jack without Greer. Right beside him, we've got the absolutely indispensable James Greer, played by the amazing Wendell Pierce. He's Ryan's mentor, his ally, his moral compass, and he's back to help him navigate this one last treacherous storm.
And hey, you can't have a final mission without your wild card, right? Michael Kelly is back as the ever-pragmatic, often ruthless Mike November. He's a total fan favorite, the guy who always gets the job done no matter what it takes.
Okay, now here's where things get really interesting. Sienna Miller is joining the cast as a new MI6 agent. So what's her deal? Is she a friend, a foe, just a totally unpredictable variable thrown into the works? Her presence is absolutely guaranteed to shake up the team dynamic we know and love.
So, let's get down to it. Why is this finale a must-see? What's the big deal? Well, it's all about delivering on the promise that the entire series has been building towards. If you're a fan, you can breathe easy. It sounds like they are doubling down on that classic Tom Clancy vibe. We're talking huge, sprawling global conspiracies, complex geopolitics, and that signature nail-biting tension. You know the one, where the whole world feels like it's just one step away from complete disaster. And this really shows you the upgrade from the series to the movie. The whole storytelling approach shifts from that episodic, season-by-season build-up to one single cinematic finale, that final chord. The scale is just bigger, and the tension is cranked all the way up to maximum for what sounds like a 2-hour thrill ride. And ultimately, that seems to be the whole point. This film is being built from the ground up to be the logical, satisfying conclusion to everything we've watched so far. This isn't just some afterthought.
It's the destination the entire series has been heading towards, and the promise is that it'll tie up the story in a really meaningful way.
Which, brings us to the biggest question of the whole saga, really. After everything he's been through, getting pulled from that desk, thrown into the fire, shaped by years of conflict and tough moral calls, who is Jack Ryan now? What has he truly become? This movie promises to give us that answer. And maybe this final quote gives us the biggest clue of all. He's not just fighting bad guys and geopolitical threats anymore. This last battle is a two-front war. He's fighting this shadowy organization out there, and at the same time, he's fighting the ghosts of his own past. It sounds like a fittingly complex end for a very complex hero.